Have you ever felt your heart pounding strangely fast after just a short walk around the yard? Or woken up with one side of your face feeling numb and thought, maybe I just slept wrong? If so, you may have ignored a life-threatening warning sign. That's exactly what happened to Eleanor, 69, from Florida. A healthy, independent woman who still walked her dog every morning. One day, she felt a strange weakness in her right arm and some blurry vision, but since she could still talk and move, she brushed it off. 2 days later, she was diagnosed with a mini-stroke, a transient ischemic attack, a silent alarm before a full-blown stroke that could permanently damage the brain. The same goes for silent heart attacks, where there's no crushing chest pain, but instead nausea, fatigue, or shortness of breath that's easy to overlook. Did you know? Women over 60 are more likely to suffer from heart attacks and strokes, yet often get diagnosed later than men, because their symptoms don't always follow the classic signs. And by the time they are recognized, it may already be too late. So what can cause a heart attack? What are the early signs of stroke symptoms or silent heart attacks? And how can you or someone you love avoid becoming the next victim? In this video, you'll learn 7 subtle but deadly signs, how to spot them early, and simple daily habits that can help protect your heart and brain. You hold the power to protect yourself and those you love. Don't miss this. Most heart attacks and strokes don't arrive without warning. They send subtle signals, quiet, often ignored signs that whisper through the body days or even weeks in advance. These signs are especially easy to overlook in women, where symptoms don't always follow the textbook description. They're often dismissed as part of getting older, but in truth, they are urgent calls from a heart or brain in distress. Studies from the American Heart Association show that up to 80% of cardiovascular disease is preventable, and yet 1 in every 5 heart attacks is silent, meaning the person felt symptoms but didn't recognize them as dangerous. For women over 60, the risk increases, not just in frequency, but in how easy it is to miss the warning signs. One of the earliest and most common red flags is an unusual kind of fatigue. This isn't the kind that fades with rest. It's the kind that makes routine tasks, like folding laundry or taking out the trash, feel overwhelming. In one survey, nearly 70% of women who survived a heart attack reported severe exhaustion in the days and weeks beforehand. Closely connected to that is mild shortness of breath. If you find yourself winded just from walking across the room or talking on the phone, your heart may not be delivering oxygen the way it should. Another common but often ignored sign is pain in areas like the back, neck, or jaw. Unlike the dramatic chest pain we see in movies, heart attacks in women often show up as diffuse discomfort. It can feel like soreness, tightness, or even a dull ache. Add to that a range of digestive issues, nausea, bloating, sudden loss of appetite, and it's easy to blame it on a meal, stress, or aging. But when the stomach starts sending confusing signals, the heart could be involved. Sleep also begins to change. You might find yourself waking up in the middle of the night for no clear reason, restless and uneasy. Some people describe it as a rising sense of anxiety or a heaviness in their chest. Others feel their hearts skipping beats or beating faster than normal. These irregular rhythms, even if brief, can indicate arrhythmias, early precursors to both stroke and heart attack. But perhaps the most profound warning of all is a quiet, intuitive feeling that something is wrong. It's not dramatic, but it lingers. A quiet voice inside that says, "This isn't me. This isn't right." That feeling has saved lives. These are not signs of aging. They are your body's way of asking you to pay attention, to stop brushing things off, to listen. Because when you know what to look for and act on it, you give yourself the best chance at protecting everything that matters. A heart attack in a woman doesn't always feel like a heart attack, nor does a stroke always begin with a dramatic collapse. In fact, the most dangerous symptoms in women are often the most subtle and the most overlooked. Unlike men, who more frequently experience sharp chest pain during a heart attack, women are more likely to feel pressure, fullness, or a vague discomfort in places like the jaw, neck, shoulders, or upper back.
Some feel as if they have the flu, nausea, dizziness, chills, or overwhelming fatigue that won't go away. Others notice mood swings or unusual anxiety in the days leading up to the event, a result of subtle changes in blood flow to the brain. This difference in presentation can be deadly. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, women who experience a stroke are 50% more likely to die from it than men, primarily due to delayed recognition and response. Many strokes, or transient ischemic attacks, TIAs, are especially dangerous in women. Symptoms such as momentary confusion, slurred speech, or sudden imbalance are often mistaken for tiredness, dehydration, or even emotional stress. Yet these early signs are the body's way of pleading for help, and the sooner they're noticed, the better the chance of recovery. For women, it's not about waiting for crushing pain. It's about recognizing when something feels off and being brave enough to act. This is not about fear. It's about power. The power to notice, to respond, to protect yourself by listening to your body even when it speaks in a whisper. Because the sooner you listen, the longer you live. Your body doesn't scream during a heart attack or stroke. Often it speaks in a quiet urgency. Clear, urgent, but only to those who know how to listen. When it does shout, it's already racing against time. A heart attack often begins with a pressure or tightness in the chest, not always painful, but unmistakable. It can spread to the shoulders, arms, or even the jaw. Some people break into a cold sweat, feel lightheaded, or experience a rapid, pounding heartbeat. The American Heart Association notes that every 40 seconds, someone in the U.S. has a heart attack. Recognizing the signs early is critical to survival. A stroke, on the other hand, can feel sudden, like a light switch being flipped off. The acronym B FAST is a life-saving tool. B for balance issues, E for sudden eye changes, F for facial drooping.
When it comes to protecting the heart, food should always be the foundation. But in some cases, especially as we age, even a balanced diet may fall short of meeting the body's nutritional needs. That's where vitamins and supplements come into the conversation, not as miracle cures, but as supportive tools. The question is, do they help or harm? According to Harvard Health Publishing, certain supplements have shown potential benefits for heart health. Omega-3 fatty acids, commonly found in fish oil, can help reduce triglycerides and inflammation. The American Heart Association recommends omega-3s, especially for individuals with heart disease or high cholesterol. Coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, a compound that supports energy production in cells, may be helpful for those taking statins, which can reduce the body's natural CoQ10 levels. Magnesium plays a crucial role in maintaining a steady heartbeat, and vitamin D deficiency has been linked to increased risk of hypertension and heart failure. These are among the most researched vitamins for heart health and may be considered under medical guidance. However, experts from Mayo Clinic stress that no supplement should replace prescribed medication or a healthy lifestyle. Supplements are meant to complement, not substitute, real food and routine care. It's essential to speak with your doctor before starting any new regimen, especially if you're managing multiple medications or chronic conditions. To ensure safety, choose products that are USP verified or NSF certified. Labels that indicate the product has been tested for quality and purity by independent organizations. But supplements alone are not the answer. The real power lies in your daily habits. And that brings us to a truth both comforting and challenging. Most heart attacks and strokes can be prevented. The key is not only knowledge, but action. So how do we move from intention to change? There are 5 simple but powerful habits that research has shown to dramatically lower the risk of cardiovascular disease, especially in older adults. First, measure your blood pressure at home regularly. According to the CDC, nearly half of U.S. adults have high blood pressure, and most don't even know it. Monitoring it gives you real-time insight into one of the biggest risk factors for stroke. Second, commit to at least 30 minutes of walking every day. Movement increases circulation, lowers blood sugar, and lifts your mood. You don't need a gym. Your sidewalk, park, or living room can be your best ally. Third, manage stress. Whether through meditation, painting, reading, or tending to a garden, activities that bring calm also bring healing. Chronic stress keeps your body in a state of inflammation, fertile ground for heart disease to take hold. Fourth, prioritize your sleep. Poor sleep increases the risk of hypertension and arrhythmias. And if you snore loudly or wake up gasping for air, you may be dealing with sleep apnea, a condition linked to both stroke and heart failure. Talk to your doctor if these signs appear. Fifth, and most overlooked, stay socially connected. Loneliness isn't just painful, it's dangerous. The American Heart Association reports that social isolation is associated with a 29% increased risk of heart disease and a 32% increased risk of stroke. Talking to a friend, joining a club, or volunteering can do more for your heart than you might imagine. What ties all of these habits together is one simple truth. Your health is not determined by age, it's shaped by the choices you make each day. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to begin. Begin by listening to your body, nourishing it well, moving it gently, and surrounding it with care and connection. Preventing disease is not about living in fear, it's about living with purpose. And every step you take toward health is a step toward more days filled with meaning, memory, and joy. You've now traveled through the most important knowledge that could one day save your life, or the life of someone you love. You've learned how strokes and heart attacks often arrive with quiet warnings, that these signs, especially in women, may not look like the dramatic scenes we see on TV. You've discovered how fatigue, nausea, jaw pain, or even sleep disturbances can be silent alarms sounding from within. But knowing the signs is only half the battle. The other half is how you live. Small daily choices, what you eat, how you move, who you connect with, shape the health of your heart and the strength of your future. Prevention isn't complicated, it's consistent. It's about walking a little more, checking your blood pressure, eating what heals instead of harms, and caring for your emotional well-being as much as your physical one. If you notice anything unusual in your own body, don't ignore it. Talk to your doctor, and talk to your loved ones. Share what you now know, because awareness doesn't just protect you, it protects your whole circle. We can't stop time, but we can choose to live each day with more awareness, more intention, and more care. A strong heart doesn't just beat longer, it makes room for more springs in your life, more stories, more joy. And that is always worth fighting for. Finally, please note that the information in this video is for informational and inspirational purposes only. For medical advice that is best suited to your individual health condition, especially if you have underlying medical conditions or are taking medication, please always consult with your doctor or a healthcare professional.